right, let's pull back the curtain on the web, shall we? We're about to dive into the 3 core technologies that build, well, pretty much every website you've ever laid eyes on: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript.
You know that feeling, right? You see these slick animations, these perfect layouts that respond the second you click. It can all feel a bit like magic, but here's the secret. It's not. It's just a combination of 3 specific tools all working together in perfect harmony. And by the end of this, you're going to know exactly how they pull it off. And the absolute easiest way to get our heads around this is with one simple analogy. We're going to build a house. Seriously, it's the perfect model because each of our 3 technologies plays a very distinct role in the whole construction process, from the foundation all the way up to flipping on the light switches.
So, first things first, we need the foundation and the frame of our house. This is HTML. Its job, and its only job, is to give the web its fundamental structure. Without it, you've just got a pile of lumber and drywall with no shape at all.
HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Think of it as the skeleton of the web page. Now, it's not a programming language. It doesn't do any complex logic. It's a markup language. All that means is it organizes and describes the content. It basically tells the browser, hey, this chunk of text, that's a headline. This part, that's a paragraph. And over here, we're going to put an image.
And how does it do that? Well, at its core, HTML works using tags. These are just keywords wrapped in angle brackets. You have an opening tag to start something, like a paragraph, then you put your content in the middle, and you finish it with a closing tag. You'll notice that little // That whole package is what creates one complete element on the page.
So let's just quickly break down that lingo. The tags, those are the markers. The whole unit, opening tag, the stuff inside, and the closing tag, that's what we call an element. And sometimes you'll see tags holding a little bit of extra information. We call those attributes, like the href in a link that tells the browser exactly where to go when you click it.
Okay, so we've got our skeleton. It's strong, it's structured, but let's be honest, it's not very pretty to look at. So now it's time to add the style. And for that, we bring in our second tool, CSS. This is the paint, the carpets, the furniture. It's everything that makes our house actually look like a home.
Check this out. This is what a web page looks like with only HTML. All the content's there, you've got your headlines, your paragraphs, it's all structured, but it's just this wall of plain text. I mean, it's functional, sure, but it's not exactly drawing you in, is it? And now, boom, this is the exact same HTML content, but we've just added a layer of CSS on top. All of a sudden, we've got colors, we've got different fonts, we have a specific layout with columns, it has a personality. This is the transformative power of style.
CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets, and its entire job is to take that raw HTML structure and tell the browser how every single element should look. It handles everything from colors and fonts to the page layout and even some slick animations.
So how does it work? CSS uses rules. A rule starts with what's called a selector, which targets a specific HTML element, in this case, every single paragraph on the page. Then, inside those curly braces, you just list out the styles you want to apply. So here, we're basically saying, find every paragraph and make it blue with a font size of 16 pixels. Simple as that.
So our house is looking great now. It's got a solid structure, a beautiful design, but it doesn't actually do anything. There's no electricity, no running water, the doorbell doesn't work. To make it functional, we have to add the brains, and for that, we bring in JavaScript.
Now, unlike HTML and CSS, JavaScript is a full-blown programming language. It's the engine that powers all the dynamic and interactive features on a website. You know, if something on a page moves or changes or responds to you without having to reload the entire page, you can bet that's JavaScript at work.
So how does it control the page? It does it through something called the Document Object Model, or you'll usually hear it called the DOM. The easiest way to think about it is this. The browser takes your HTML code and turns it into a live, interactive blueprint of the page. JavaScript can then read this blueprint and change literally anything on it. It can add new things, remove old ones, or even change the CSS styles on the fly.
And this is really what makes a website feel alive, right? JavaScript is constantly listening for user events, things like a button click or you typing into a form. And then it can react. It can change content, like when a Show More button reveals hidden text. It can also change styles in real time, maybe making a button glow when you hover over it. This is the stuff that turns a static page into a real application. Okay, now for the most important part, seeing how these three pillars actually come together. Because honestly, none of them are all that powerful on their own, but when they collaborate, that's when they create a complete, living, breathing website.
If you remember just one thing from all this, let it be this. HTML provides the nouns, the things, the content, the frame of our house. CSS provides the adjectives. It describes those nouns, making them look good with paint and furniture. And finally, JavaScript provides the verbs, the actions, the interactivity, like the working lights and running water that actually make the house functional. Noun, adjective, verb.
Let's trace a single user click to see this partnership in action. First, HTML puts the button on the page. That's its job. Second, JavaScript starts listening, just waiting for someone to click that specific button. Third, you click it, and the JavaScript code runs, maybe it adds a special class to that button. And finally, that new class triggers a waiting CSS rule, which instantly changes the button's color. See, all three working together in a perfect little sequence.
And that's really the ultimate takeaway here. This amazing combination is what takes a simple, static document, like a page in a book, and completely transforms it into a living, dynamic application that can respond, react, and help you in all sorts of complex ways.
So now you know the secret. Every single website, from the simplest little blog to the most complex web app you use every day, is built on these three fundamental building blocks: the structure, the style, and the brains. So the only question left is, what are you going to create with them?